Hello and welcome to a new coding challenge video. In today's episode, I will give you my solution to my third Python coding challenge. For those of you who missed it, make sure to check it out first by clicking on the link in the top right-hand corner of your screen. For those of you who have already watched my previous video and have attempted the challenge, here is my solution. As you can see, I've already written a list containing all the letters of the alphabet. Now let's write a function that allows us to shift an index forward or backwards. As you'll see in a minute, this is very important to successfully completing the bonus challenge, according to which the encryption function should also be able to decrypt the message. Now let's write def shift underscore index, and then we will give this function two arguments, index and shift, which will have a default value of 2. And then we can say index plus equals shift, and finally we can say return index. Now, technically speaking, this can work, but I'm sure the more perceptive of you have already spotted a problem. What happens if our index is, for example, equal to the length of the alphabet? In this case, after adding the shift, the index would go beyond the length of the alphabet, and the code would return an out-of-range error. So how do we fix it? Simple, by adding in two lines that catch any unwanted index values. We can write if index greater or equal to len of alphabet, and then elif index smaller than 0. Now that we have these two conditions, for the first, we can write index minus equal len alphabet, and for the second, we can write index plus equal len of alphabet. This allows us to contain the index within the length of the alphabet list, thus avoiding any unwanted errors. Now let's write our encryption function. We can say define encrypt text, comma, shift, and we will again give this a default value of 2 because that's what the challenge asked for. And first of all, we have to separate our text into individual characters. So let's write letters equals list of text. Now we can create a new list of letters in which to append our encrypted characters. We can say new letters equals empty list. Then we can say for element in letters. So we are iterating through the list of letters we created earlier. And then if element in alphabet. So we are checking whether or not the character or symbol or letter, whatever it is contained within our alphabet list. If it is, then we can say ind, short for index, is equal to alphabet dot index of element. Now we can shift the index by using our previously defined function. We can say new ind equals shift underscore index of ind, comma, shift. Now we can append the encrypted letter to our list by writing new letters dot append alphabet of new ind. Now that we've specified how to encrypt letters, we have to decide what to do with any characters that are not included in our alphabet list. For example, numbers, uppercase letters, symbols, and white spaces. For these cases, the challenge stipulated that they should remain unencrypted. So we can say, else new letters dot append element. Now that we've processed each of the characters individually, we need to join them back into a single string. We can do this by writing new text equals open and close quotation marks dot join new letters. And as usual, we need to output our results by stating return new text. And there you have it, our first ever encryption function. Let's test it by using the sentence I gave you in last week's video. First, let's run the code by pressing the F5 key, and then we can say encrypt, and we can give it our sentence as the argument, and then we know that the shift is of 2 elements, so given that 2 is our default value, we can avoid specifying it. If you now compare this result with the one I provided for you in last week's video, you can see that the output is the same. As I'm sure some of you have noticed, this function we have created can also be used for decryption. Simply provide it with your encrypted text and give it a negative shift. In this case, we can say encrypt, and then we can copy our encrypted text from above, and then we can give it a -2 shift, and hey presto, there is your unencrypted text from before. I hope you enjoyed this fun coding challenge, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. In the meantime, make sure to check out my tutorial videos by clicking on the banner in the top right-hand corner of your screen or on the link in the video description. If you missed any previous coding challenges, make sure to check those out too and put your coding skills to the test. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos. As always, see you next time and happy coding!